Hello, I'm BJ Arnett, and this is This Day. Welcome. Today I have an opportunity to talk to someone who is right in the lane that I love to talk about, which is her salvation and her career that God placed her in. He formed her and fashioned her to step right into some greatness, and it's called entertainment. I love it. Her name is Linda Bentley. Linda, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me, BJ.
I'm excited about it. One, I really know you, so that's always good. Two, you are one of those people that you light up a room when you walk in, Linda. I'm not just saying that. You really do. You light up a room when you walk in. And people like being around you. But, you know, I have seen you walk through some things that are not for the faint of heart.
No,
not for the faint of heart. And because you are such a multifaceted person, entrepreneur within the faith-based entertainment field, I want to talk about that, but I first want people to get to know who you are as a woman, as a daughter of the Most High, as a wife, and as a mother. So tell us about Linda Bentley and all of those facets.
Wow, that's a lot of facets. Well, I am from Macon, Georgia, where I currently reside with my husband and our two daughters, and I got saved. I don't want to get a year. But anyway, it was a little while ago.
A little minute ago.
A little minute ago. And I was actually up in New York. I was up in the New York area. And I was, you know, auditioning for a part in some kind of production. I can't even remember what it was. And I was number 100 and something on my ticket. Now, this was, you know, right around the time the internet was just coming out. So I aged myself a little bit. And I was just standing there, and I got impatient. And so I went to the subway train and said, you know what, forget it. And I got on the platform. There was this lady sitting next to me. Her name is Angela Walker Campbell. She had a natural and glasses. She started talking to me and talking to me about
you remember her
entire
to that detail.
Her entire government.
Her government name.
And she was a little petite lady with glasses, and she started talking to me about going to her church and God. Now, I was not saved. This is BC.
BC, before Christ.
Yes. And I was like, yeah, yada, yada, yada. Then she said that she does casting or advertising for her company that she works for. And so then that got my interest.
Ding, ding,
and
ding.
so God is so amazing because he's such the master orchestrator.
Yes, indeed.
He knew that I would not be interested in just listening to anybody. It had to be a particular person. And that once, because I was selfish in nature, once I heard that she could probably cast me in some things, then I decided to go to her church. I just thought it was regular church. But these people sit you down and witness to you about the Lord. Her and her friend Deanna. And they kept witnessing to me. They showed me where I was and where I thought I was. And where I really was not where I was going.
Wow.
You know how people think, I believe in God, I go to church.
Right, and I'm a good person. Yeah.
I'm okay. I'm a good person when the Bible says there's no one good. So I, one night in my room, I was in Jersey because I couldn't afford Manhattan. I was in Jersey City, and I had my Bible open, and I just started crying, weeping, like just watering the pages of the Bible. And I just said, I'm sorry, over and over and over again, I'm sorry.
Wow.
And I got saved at that very, very moment.
Isn't it funny how, you know, people say they understand that those who are Christian, that God meets them where they are. People get that. But I don't think they really get it. Like, you know, I was so broken when I got saved that I was like challenging God. I was like, what? Okay, so if you who you say you are, then take me like this, because I'm a hot mess. And he did, and I'm like, oh, he really does do that. But when you're at that place of tears and, you know, what the old folks say, you come to the end of yourself, that's when you're ready to receive him.
Right.
And you're right, he's the greatest orchestrator ever, because he knew your ears would open when you heard there's this woman sitting next to you, but she said Jesus, but then she said, oh, but this is what I do every day.
Right.
And that made you go, wait, what? You would have never walked in that church.
Exactly, if there wasn't something in it for me, because at the time I wasn't saved. And the crazy thing about it is, I went to these church services, I did it, you know, out of selfish reasons, and met with them and talked to them. but ended up getting saved, but didn't get in any commercial, didn't get cast in anything.
The Lord said, I got you now, sister. Now I got to grow you and cultivate
The
you.
most important thing was that I get saved. What
That
good
was
would
the
it
reason.
do me to get cast in something and not be saved? So
Right. Wow.
that's
Ooh.
what happened. And I never really was interested in getting married. And, you know, after I got saved, you know, I had to cut some things off. My lifestyle had to change.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
couldn't be with my boyfriend
Right.
in certain ways.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
so it caused a lot of strife because I was trying to pull from the dark side.
Right.
But sometimes the dark side doesn't want to let you go.
Oh, and they will remind you over and over again who you were,
Oh,
but that
yeah.
lady was dead.
She's gone.
Yeah.
She's gone.
Yeah.
She's gone. So, and I wanted to get married. We didn't make it. We broke up. And then God sent me, you know, my husband now. And he's an amazing person.
He is. He is. He's such a
You've met him. He's
wonderful
so
person.
hilarious. He has me laughing all the time. And he's supportive of me. His name is Calvin. We call him Cal. I'm trying not to say his name country, so I'm going to say Cal. And he's amazing. He supports me. And he's there for me. He comes up with these different ideas
To help you
to help
through your
me,
journey.
you know, for shows and movies and things like that.
Here's what's interesting. I think that we always think of ourselves as needing to be matched with someone, according to God, that is within our same field, and that it's going to make it work. But what makes it work is that you are equally yoked in the first place. So, you know, you were seeing someone outside of Christ, and once you get delivered and saved, you are a new creature in Christ. And then the man that God had you with before the foundation of the earth, before you even were formed in your mother's womb, this man named Calvin was the one. And he turns out to be the one that makes you smile, the one that makes you laugh,
Yes.
and the one that cheers you on and believes in you.
Absolutely.
Because the field that you chose straight out of college is the crazy field. Let me say entertainment is crazy. Okay, let me just say that. Even in the body, it's crazy.
It is crazy.
You work 14, 20 hours a day. You get an hour sleep, especially in the realm that you are in. You're a writer, you're a producer, you're a director, and all things begin and end in those categories.
And don't forget actress.
An actress. That's right, an actress.
Yeah.
And that's where it all started.
Yeah, exactly.
But when you take a look at your journey, from those college days to the transformation of who God called you to be once salvation occurred, what made you sit down and say, okay, in front of the camera as an actor is what I love, but also let me experience behind the camera as a producer, director, and writer. And, you know, as it is not quietly kept, so I can't say that, but you are a tremendous writer and have won numerous awards. Numerous awards.
You make it sound so good.
Well, it is so good. I'm just telling the truth.
I mean, I started off, I went to college for broadcast journalism. And we had this little TV show, a cable soap opera for college kids. Anyway, and then someone told me you should be an actress. And then for some reason that stuck in my head. And then I went to New York and I also did theater. I've done, you know, A Raisin in the Sun, To Kill a Mockingbird, and Fences and all of that. And I did those mostly in Macon, Georgia, where I'm from. And, you know, time passed, I got married, had kids, and I just was gonna live a regular life. And then one day I was praying. And I had settled, you know, I said, you know what? I'm just gonna be regular as if I am anything like regular. I am so not regular.
No, you're not regular. I'm cracking up.
You're cracking up like you're regular,
you
okay?
are so not regular. He didn't call you to be regular.
He didn't. And so I heard a voice say movie production company.
Wow.
And I took it to be God. And so I started, you know, putting everything in place with, you know, the licensing and all of that, getting knowledge of screenwriting and all of that. And I'm glad I did, because you can write your own parts. You can write your own.
Right.
You know, and that's what we've been doing. We've done some short films. You know, we did A Beautiful Life. And also we've written quite a few things. Hosea. I wrote Liz Town. I wrote several scripts, and they've won awards for Best Screenwriter, which I am so, so grateful for.
Yeah, you have, you know, and I've been with you at different film festivals, Christian film festivals, and heard people say, oh, she's the one who wrote whatever. You have a knack, a blessing, if you will, for writing meaty and stories that really resonate. So I think that's one of the things that's so great about you. There's not a lot of attention on people who write the story.
Right.
And that writing that story is so important that it has to be developed into a screenplay.
Right.
But when you write that story, you have a great responsibility. Talk to us about what it feels like when you're writing something that you know that it is a God-given mission and purpose to do so.
Well, you want to spend a lot of time in prayer.
Before you even pick the pen up.
Pick it up, before you even start typing on the computer, because you know, I'm a believer first, and I want to make sure that I present God in some way, shape, or form to the world and let it not be all about me. And so that's the first thing. And then I try to hear from him, and I just start, you know, typing what I believe. You know, that's how Hosea came about. And that's a modern take on the book of Hosea in the Bible. And then other things that I've written romance comedy called Saved and Single. I've written like another TV show. I've got Liz Town. It's like a lot of different things, and I got to make sure that they're coming from God. I'm not sure, and I can't 100% promise that they're all from God, but some of them I definitely believe are from God. And you know, I try to write things that are meaty and also clean.
Yes,
at the same time.
And I think that's the part that industry people deal with, is that how do I make it meaty yet following within the lines that God has given us.
Exactly.
Just, to me, the meatiest thing in the land is the Bible, and it got some hot passages in there.
It's got a lot in there.
It really does.
I don't think we have to stray away from the things that life can bring.
Right.
You know, there's a way you can show a person falling without showing us too much. There's a way you can just show it without showing it.
Right. You know, and it's interesting that when filmmaking began, it was always there is a part that you leave for the audience's imagination. I remember growing up watching the Lucy show and seeing for the first time the original black and white version. You know, this was actually when TV turned color, so don't be trying to figure out how old. Anyway, so it was black and white, and they said, it was a documentary, and they said that Desi Arnaz, even though he was the real husband, he had to keep his foot on the floor in order to sit on the twin bed of his wife. That was the Lucy Arnaz show.
That was extra clean.
That was extra.
Extra, because he was actual husband.
He was actually her husband, and it was not allowed. And that was a part of the regulatory systems of television at that time. We've got so much more to talk about, but you know, there's producing, directing, writing, acting. You are the more than triple threat woman, but you are on that side that is perfect and wonderful, and that is because you are a daughter of the Most High God. So there's more to talk about here, but as I would say, this is our part one, thereallindabentley.com, and we'll be back with more in just a minute. We love you.